is he?
He's a very lucky budgie. He's a very lucky budgie.
Ah! At last, you found us. Hello, welcome. So here we all are. Here you are.
Where are we actually? Where am I?
A lot of people say that when they get in here. In one building, out the other. Why, it's more like a hospital or a shopping mall or a prison.
Maybe we should supply them with a road map. Should we look into that?
I think we should. I'll make a note. Should have thought of it before.
No worries. I'll make a note. I don't seem to have a pen. Can I borrow yours, mate? Forgive us. This is all quite new.
How long is this going to take? Only I wasn't told at reception how long this session would last.
The session? That's a bit strong. Junk that.
Burn now. We don't use words like session anymore. This is a conversation with a capital C. Two-way.
Three-way.
Of course. Three-way. Three-way conversation. Conversation.
And it's pretty open-ended, really. You want to say something? We will listen. We want to say something?
We'll take it in turns after you.
No, after you, I insist.
Like that.
Nothing
to worry about.
Nothing to worry about. Biscuit?
No thanks.
Really, I do insist. Bore them. You got that?
Noted.
What?
You have, let me stress this, nothing to fear.
Absolutely nothing to worry about. Within the next few minutes, we're really going to sort you out. You'll be as right as rain.
You'll get a good going over.
Everything in this room is being done for your benefit.
Benefit being the operative word. Benefits. Do sit down.
Well, that's what I don't understand, you see. The letter said that in future my benefits would be dependent upon my fulfilling certain new criteria and that I needed to come here for an assessment. That my welfare payments were contingent upon the outcome of the meeting.
Did it really say that?
Yeah.
Meeting?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Contingent upon the outcome of the conversation? Maybe. But contingent upon the outcome of the meeting? Well, that sounds a bit, what do you think?
Oh, extreme.
And my thoughts exactly. Bin that. Kill that. Did you bring the letter with you?
Well, I didn't actually, just the basic summons with the address on it. It caused me no end of grief, it did. Because it says go to Blighty. But that's the town, isn't it? The town. And this is on the outskirts. And it's also called Blighty. It's confusing.
These are confusing times. We've inherited, let's be frank about this, the most god-awful mess. Oh yes, I see your mistake. It's Blighty, but spelt with a capital L and capital Y. Do you see? Did you not spot that? Short for British Light Year. The new big programme for change, bringing light into the world. Starting here in Blighty, the town, and then being rolled out right across the country. Our country. Your country.
This is the epicentre of the 21st century Reformation.
This is the first citizens' transformational hub. Wing 365. Room 24/7.
It's not so much a place as a process.
Our motto is, we are where we are.
We are where we are.
We are where we are, but it's time to move on. It's all about big change, and you're part of that change. You're in the front line of that change.
No shells exploding in your face, just, if you will, troops advancing towards you, their arms outstretched, desperate to embrace.
What are you doing?
Does a hug hurt? Does a cuddle kill? Blighty excels at the painless procedure.
Relatively famous.
We're not going to eat you for breakfast.
We've already eaten.
Full English.
Well, who are you? I'm not sure what you are exactly. Administrators?
We're here to help you.
Assist you.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Assist you. I'm not quite up to speed with the new lingo there. Very important job. Clears the head. Yep, right. Got that. Up to speed. There is no word, in all honesty, that completely describes us. We're not advisors, we're not assessors, we're more like,
Pugs.
You've lost me there.
Lost is good. I was lost once. Bit of personal history here. No reason why not. It breaks the ice. I used to be in marketing. market research. Yet there was something missing. I was finding out what people wanted to buy in order to help other people sell them things. But the joy of this business is that I'm getting to find out everything. All about the people we assist, drilling right down into their, his or her core aspirations. And then what I'm doing is I'm getting him, her or you to confront those aspirations. Do I really need that? Do I really want that? Can I do without it? And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Sure. Since we're making this easy to understand for everyone, I'm more a junior partner in this. Not been here quite as long, but same story really. Only my background's in education, with the sideline in hands up, tennis coaching. Bringing out the best. What does that mean? Maybe time to stop teaching things. And time to start learning. What's up there already? What's up there in the bank of knowledge? / information, / inherited wisdom. We're looking to build. What do we keep and what do we chuck out?
Well, I think I'm fine as I am, really. All of this is quite interesting, but I'm not looking for anything new. I just need my usual benefits. I rely on them.
Speech patterns basic for normal comprehension levels, fine.
Noted.
What?
Absolutely nothing to worry about. Back to business. Could you fill us in about your reasons for living? In Blighty? Lived here long, have you?
About 10 years or so.
10 years or so, what, 2000, 2010, thereabouts?
Thereabouts, yes, it should all be on the records.
A dark decade, the noughties. Was it a struggle for you?
Oh, struggle for me? Well, I suppose it was, really. Although I've had a good life here, you know. I've raised my family here. Well, my son now. My wife and I separated a few years back, and my daughter, she lives with her. I became unemployed about 4 or 5 years ago on account of a spinal injury I picked up while trying to care for my mother. That explains the incapacity benefit.
Is he referring to the employment and support allowance there?
These two terms are pretty interchangeable. Well, they're about to be superseded anyway, aren't they, by the progressive individual entitlement. Pie!
Oh, I've never heard of that. But I'm coping okay with what I get at the moment. The people downstairs assured me I'd continue to get the same.
I think you're jumping the gun there. The whole procedure is being streamlined to deliver real and lasting change. All kinds of mistakes have been made in the past, which we're determined not to repeat, Mr. Macaulay.
Mr. Sanderson.
I beg your pardon?
I'm Mr. Sanderson. My first name's Macaulay.
Is it now? Really? Well, perhaps you filled the form in incorrectly at reception, Mr. Sanderson.
So, talk us through it then. How did you sustain a back injury whilst trying to care for your mother? You were by trade a builder. A hefty chap.
Oh, that's right. Well, my mother got this degenerative disease.
Oh.
I had to carry her around. That's how I put my back out, you see. Even walking's an effort.
Are you in absolute agony right now?
Not at the moment. No, just very uncomfortable.
Really? Oh. Open wide. Say ah.
Ah.
Now say we are.
We are.
Now say we are where we are.
Why do I have to do that exactly?
Ours is not to reason why, Mr. Sanderson. Ours is but to do and die, as the poet said. Continue.
We are...
You experiencing trouble in the groinal area?
What?
Not yet! Not yet! For goodness sake! To apologise, Mr. Sanderson. Could you, for our benefit, and for the sake of your benefits, walk around the room a bit, so we can see how you get on? We're both qualified to watch you do that.
Oh, yes. Entirely. Eminently.
Well, it does hurt a bit when I...
That's it. Yeah. Move about a bit. Impressive. Well done. Well done. Motor skills, yes. Head, arms, teeth too. Wouldn't you say blinking normal?
What?
Carry on. Why don't you? We think this can really help. Why don't you demonstrate how you used to carry your mother around, the kind of positions you used to adopt?
Well, I can't really, it hurts when I bend in any
Well, just a
direction.
cursory indication would do. Shall I be mother? What would I need to do? suggest the tipsiness that comes with a furtive spot of afternoon sherry and the giddiness that comes after watching songs of praise.
You've got to be joking. Are you taking the piss?
This isn't a laughing matter, Mr. Sanderson. We're following orders from on high. Now do proceed. Go on. Put your back into it. Extraordinary! Hold that position!
I can't move.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I think I am. Go on.
No, you go on.
Well, there were ample resources for Mr. Sanderson when he put his back out, but no adequate resources for his mother in the first place.
Oh.
That seems
Odd. Decidedly odd. Are you sure a decision wasn't taken, Mr. Sanderson?
Decision?
That your mother was, you know... That your mother was shamming? Old people can do that sometimes, you know.
Believe me, my mother wasn't shamming. It's all on the records. My back got wrecked. My mother ended up in a stinking NHS ward. She died of MRSA, covered in her own filth. It was a nightmare.
A nightmare? Are you making some sort of complaint about the NHS here? The NHS does a fantastic job. I'd ask you to withdraw those remarks. Inappropriate, bad form.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Cool Vine Jets! Maybe you'd like to take a seat.
You're acting a little bit, if I may say, Mr. Macaulay Sanderson, as though this were an interrogation, when, in fact, as has already been stated, it's a conversation.
Mr. Sanderson, would you consider yourself to be a burden to the state?
We don't say state, we say society. Come on, buck up!
Sorry, I'll rephrase. Mr. Sanderson, would you consider yourself to be a burden to society?
I've always tried not to be a burden.
And yet, in trying to support your mother, you now need support from society. Do you see the contradiction? I've got a hunch.
Have you?
Yes, I've got a hunch that Mr. Sanderson here doesn't want to get back on his own 2 feet. That he's another one of those people who is making a statement.
Statement?
I hazard deep down that he resents the fact he didn't get adequate support from society when his mother was degenerating. And he views this as payback time. He feels entitled to some help. I'm suggesting that this apparent immobility issue of his, it's emblematic.
Oh, and symptomatic,
Yes,
sure.
symptomatic and emblematic. Symptomatic and emblematic.
Are you suggesting all this is in my head? Are you saying all I've got to do is change my attitude?
I think he's starting to put 2 and 2 together. We're getting there, yeah?
Yes. Yes. Really? Oh dear.
Yes. Yes. Really? Oh dear.
Mr. Sanderson, how would you rank your house? How would you rate it?
Rate it? Well, it's a small family house. I like it. I don't know. 5 out of 10.
5. Interesting. Our Google-sponsored quality of life inspectors have been round to your place whilst we've been having this little chat. They've reported back an astonishing number of windows for a man of your means. I mean, way above the national average in terms of pleasing or pleasant views.
Do you think that's fair?
Do you think that's right?
Do you think that's right?
Do you think that's fair?
Do you know what they found in your recycling?
No idea.
Why don't you tell us all, Mr. Macaulay Sanderson? It makes it easier for all of
I
us.
don't know what bottles, jam jars, papers...
Yes, and what papers might you discard?
I'll read the mail from...
The Daily Mail! Bingo! Well, we all knew that, but it's nice to see you've got the courage to admit it. Well done, you.
Yes, well done, you.
You see, the problem we've got with the Daily Mail, it's a very us and them kind of paper. It's old school, wrong school.
It's very much, I'm all right, Jack. No such thing as society, not in my backyard. It's not very helpful. A sixth-full paper, is it?
The people that write the Daily Mail, the people that read the Daily Mail, they simply don't grasp progressive individualism.
I mean, do you grasp it? Have you even heard of it?
I don't know what it
In
is.
a nutshell, it's commonsensical, really, isn't it? A progressive individual isn't someone who asks what his country can do for him, but what he can do for his country.
Consider Stephen Hawking.
Yes, consider Stephen Hawking. Not only asking what he can do for his country, but
mouse eating all the cheese, or a man making cheese, churning the milk of human industry?
What kind of effing question is that? All of this is being recorded, isn't it? I've got rights. I'm not answering any more of your questions or taking any more of your insults.
Who said anything about being recorded? We've rolled back all that nonsense. A waste of money. And most importantly, a gross infringement of your civil liberties. Sit back down. Go on. Do. I really do insist. I must say, you're showing a remarkable degree of spirit for a man who keeps claiming to have no backbone.
And here I was, thinking he lacked the requisite spunk to go out and work.
He does have the spunk. Copious quantities of it too. But will he be told? I know what you're thinking, Mr. Sanderson. You're worried we're about to take away all your benefits, isn't that right?
That's what it sounds like.
Well, that's where you've gone wrong. We're going to give you a brand new benefit. The progressive individual entitlement. Pie! We're going to withdraw that boring old incapacity benefit that was transparently holding you back with your back, and give you something to enable you to walk tall again.
All you need to do first is choose a classification. A progressive. B, a prick.
Which is it to be? It used to be so complicated, but this is much simpler. When we sift through the evidence, the luxury home, the fact that you no longer make a splendid contribution to society, I'd be inclined to tick on the form. Which would you say?
Oh, I think considering the options, B is the only option. Oh, prick. Oh, but only progressives get a pie. Oh, pricks just get what's coming to them.
I don't like it here. I want to leave.
It's very simple, Mr. Sanderson. You sign here, confirming that you're now progressive and no longer a prick, and you can be out of that door in a dash. A new man. Stick with option B, and I'm afraid you'll be in here for some time.
A very long time.
Paying back the debts you owe us.
You're only good at washing dishes.
Do you have much contact with your daughter at the moment? Not a great deal. Well, you'd have even less if we classify you a prick. As for your son,
Oh, tragic. And to think you could be seconds away from your first pie.
which is it to be? Progressive or prick?
Prick or progressive?
Come on, Mr. Sanderson, we're here to assist you. Come on, repeat after me. We are where we are.
We are where we are.
We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. Come on, sign here, Mr. Sanderson.
It's time
Sign
to
here,
move on.
progressive or
We
prick.
are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are. Yes, 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 yes.
What is it then? What do I get?
You're going to be better off, in real terms, almost immediately. The progressive individual entitlement for this year is, tell him,
£0 and 0 pence.
ka-ching! You're going to be totally self-reliant, just like that.
How am I going to survive? What am I going to live on? How am I going to care for my boy?
This could be the first day of the rest of your life. No, bin that, kill that. This is the first day of your actual life. It's a birth situation.
Take stock of your new life.
Glory be. A lovely new minted, pink-cheeked progressive. Can you feel the energy coursing within you? The power of mind over matter. Welcome. Biscuit.
How will I live?
Outburst.
Fantastic work. That's just inspiring. Oh, you can find your own way back to reception now, can't you? Please don't fret about getting assistance at home before you return to gainful employment. You'll be pleased to learn we've introduced a We Can Do It initiative, encouraging teenagers on a voluntary compulsory basis to do more about the house. I'm sure you'll find your son, that's right, isn't it? A prop and a star. So delightful to have met you.
Yes, delightful to have met you.
Oh, by the way, the charge for this little chat of ours will be 200 smackers, paired at reception.
What?
Only kidding.
He is such a character. We're such characters. No, seriously though, we'll invoice you. We know where you live.
This has been the worst day of my life.
Cheerio!
Do you have an appointment? Do you have an appointment? We were just wrapping things up. So many delivery targets you wouldn't believe.
We don't say targets, idiot. We say aims for impacts. Do I have to write it all up on the board for you too?
What he's trying to say is that we're busy, so what's the big idea?
Yeah, what's the big idea?
I've come about my dad.
Your dad?
Have you got some documentation?
Macaulay Sanderson. I'm his son, Jack. You interviewed him last year. He died a fortnight ago. He went into a coma. Our home got repossessed. Did you know that? He'd been living rough. He had a stroke. It was the pressure, the debts he had on him. He couldn't cope. And Mum wouldn't have him back, so he ended up living in the woods, destitute.
Shh! We don't say destitute anymore, we say between homes. Look, this isn't ringing any bells with me. Is it ringing any bells with you?
Go on.
I tried to look after him. They only sent an ambulance when it was too late.
Are you implying that the hospital was deficient in its care? I'd ask you to think very carefully before making an allegation like that. The NHS does a marvellous job.
What can I do? He was nothing by the end. Absolutely nothing. A vegetable.
A vegetable? Ouch. What kind of talk is that? We don't say vegetable.
What else can I call him? He couldn't do anything for himself. And then a truck came for his body and they sent me a letter saying he'd come here.
Really? I couldn't say that I... You seem to be in a very confused place.
Very confused. Look, I'll make a call. Sit down. Sanderson. Macaulay Sanderson. Any record? Yes. Yes. Really? Oh dear. We don't have any records of Mr. Macaulay Sanderson here. And rightly so. We're committed to breaking up all of those hideous bureaucratic habits of old. We passionately care about privacy, so we would have disposed any documents related to him upon decease. Bin all that, kill all that, burn all that.
But his body was brought here. I got a call telling me he was here.
Ah, yes. While we wouldn't have any documents related to him, it's still perfectly possible that he could have come here. Completely possible. But he's not exactly traceable. Tell him.
Well, you're aware, aren't you, of all the power cuts, the strikes, the riots, all of that, aren't you? Well, because of the ongoing situation, we've been asking people to make an even bigger contribution to the greater good.
It's a jolly, fantastic new initiative as part of our commitment to recycling and conservation. Our human resources department automatically assumes the donorship of all expended lives. Your father's cause would have been harnessed into energy. Incredible development, huh? Power from the people. Did you not see the chimneys, the ovens, and the smoke? Did you not spot all that? You know, it may well be him keeping the bulbs in this place blazing bright right now. We should thank him for it. Really, we should.
Yes, in his own modest way, he has delivered progress.
You won't get away with this.
The door's over there. It's so delightful to have met you.
It's delightful to have met you, but don't outstay your welcome. Time is money.
Do you have any idea what you've done?
We've got a motto here. I'm sure you'll find it a great comfort. It goes like this. We are where we are, but it's time to move on.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yes, I found it a tremendous source of comfort too. In my darker hours, it's a real pick-me-up. We are where we are, but it's time to move on.
You can't just not listen.
We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. We are where we are, but it's time to move on. Bless. Real lives, real people. That's what it's all about. Making a difference. I think he's gone now. Can you see him?
I don't see anything. Not even a mouse.
So then, back to business. Where the hell were we?
Yeah. Where the hell were we?